Have you had a call with the regulators on this?
Yes, no, certainly fascinating. Where I'm sitting in Washington, D.C., I think this has caught all of the policymakers here off guard. I don't think anybody saw this coming. Sam Bankman-Fried was very active with working with policymakers and regulators here in the United States and knew a lot of them personally. And even though it was election day, just given the level of this news, this is a story that has not been lost off of U.S. policymakers. Was announcements today that the Department of Justice and the CFTC and other regulators are looking into the matter. From a U.S. perspective, this is not the Binance US or the FTX US entity. Those are separate and distinct. It's really the international customers that are going to have the most problems, as well as
True, but the
obviously
ripple
the
effects would be felt.
investors.
But the ripple effects would be felt everywhere, no?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this has been a black eye. I think we're seeing the markets are, the prices are obviously down. There's a tremendous amount of concern at the moment. I do think the important thing to remember, though, is that crypto isn't about buying and selling tokens on an exchange. And even though what FTX appears to have done was not the way you're supposed to operate an exchange, it doesn't mean that the underlying technology isn't still valuable. We're seeing a tremendous amount of innovation. We're seeing developers come together to build new financial infrastructure that will allow for peer-to-peer exchange in a way that you don't have to rely on these less transparent centralized intermediaries. Similarly, we're seeing a ton of development around sort of the Web3 space, building the new internet based off of these peer-to-peer crypto networks. And so I do think that crypto is going to come out the other end of this. It's obviously going to be rocky in the short term, but I do think that the policymakers around the globe are going to be paying increased attention. I do think we'll see some new regulation, but if we do it properly and correctly, I think that regulation will pave the way for a nice recovery and for this technology to really take off and reach its full potential.